Hi guys, I'm just walking home and not paying attention, looking up at the sky because we don't get, oh my god, did you hear that bicycle? We don't get so many clear blue skies in Paris, as a general rule, so especially in May. So I'm really enjoying it. But I'm thinking about, of course, this stuff that I talk about on a daily basis. And I was thinking specifically about Charles the Vindictive and that portrait, the portrait of Charles the Vindictive, the red portrait, and Charles the Vindictive in Dante's Inferno. And I was wondering about the butterfly specifically. People have been really zooming in on the red color so far because I guess we're all sort of in the preliminary stages of the analysis. But now I've really sort of branched off from everybody because I tend to do that first. I'm like, okay, let's switch. Let's switch this up, baby. And I was thinking about the butterfly. And I'm trying to figure out what or who does that butterfly represent? Not for Charles, but for Jonathan, the artist, Jonathan Yeo. Is that how you say his name? Correct me if I'm wrong. Or Yao. And because for Charles it probably means some kind of change, metamorphosis, whatever, the usual, which to me would have been better off with a caterpillar than a butterfly. But to me, the butterfly in Jonathan's mind, I'm mind reading, so I'm speculating. I really can't read his mind, but I'm speculating about what was in his mind when he did that. Because there's a lot of psychology going on there. But I'm thinking that it's one of 4 different people, or maybe 5, and all of them are female. There is his wife Camilla. There's his wife Diana. There's Meghan. There is Catherine Middleton. And then there is his mother, Queen Elizabeth. With Queen Elizabeth, Jonathan could be saying that she left you the crown and you changed it. That's true. But you changed it for the worst. And you brought hell and damnation and finality to the monarchy. Sorry about that. To the monarchy, right? So basically he set the monarchy on fire and it just burned it down, right? So that's his mother. Now, if it represents his wife, what is that saying? Because interestingly, I heard on one of the YouTube analyses, whatever, of the painting, that when it was unveiled, the first thing that his wife Camilla said was, quote, "You got him," end quote. Isn't that a strange thing to say? You got him? She looked at that monstrosity, and the only thing that came to her mind, the first knee-jerk reaction from his wife of 17 years or whatever it is at this point, is you got him? I think that speaks volumes because Jonathan apparently also painted Camilla. I don't think he painted anything as grotesque, representing the current sitting Queen of England, right? Moreover, she has access to all the art that you can possibly imagine in every gallery and museum in England and elsewhere. So she's seen a lot of art, right? and probably has analyzed a lot of art as well among her friends, right? You got him? That's what those are the first words. Not bravo, not, oh, this is really interesting. Not wow. Nothing like that, but not, oh my God, but you got him, right? What does Jonathan Yeo know about Charles and Camilla's relationship that we don't know? Because she sat for him for her own portrait before Charles died, right? So what did she confide in him that she would say something like that, right? And is she the butterfly? And it would seem if that's her, then it's almost a butterfly that betrays the king. She betrayed the king, and she watched his downfall, and she says, you got him. Think about that, right? So that's Camilla. Who have we got left? We have Kate Middleton. Now, Kate, his beloved daughter-in-law, whom he never fails to refer to as his beloved daughter-in-law, has mysteriously gone MIA, right? We're told that they both came down with cancer at the same time and were admitted to the hospital on the same day. And it seems they were discharged at or around the same time as well from the hospital. But during this whole saga with the MIA Catherine, formerly known as the Princess of Wales, which curiously no one in the palace has referred to her as for a while, if you think about it. But anyway, for someone, sorry about that, I ran out of space again, but for someone who is his beloved daughter-in-law, with all the rumors that have been circulating about her fate, I mean, everything from coma to all kinds of things, really. I mean, you know what they are better than I do, because I'm the last to hear these things. He seems remarkably blasé, and if you look at the painting, his hands in the painting, one could conclude that Jonathan was suggesting, without being too ghoulish, that he has blood on his hands, because his hands are very sort of covered in the painting. They're not the hands of a Caucasian man necessarily. They're very sort of dark and covered over and not clean. He has unclean hands, if you think about it, right? So is Catherine the butterfly, this quote-unquote fragile character who is also in hell with him, but for whom his hands are unclean in some way because he has not been forthcoming with what really happened to her? Yeah, it's a question. It's just, me being psychoanalyzing this situation, And finally, and by the way, if I didn't mention with Camilla, she's also in hell with him, because the butterfly is in hell with this man. But she would be more kind of complicit to the point of maybe traitorous almost, because that butterfly is not on fire necessarily, but it is in hell. Think about it, right? And finally, there's Meghan. Does the butterfly represent someone whom Jonathan believes? Because Meghan is clearly not in cahoots with King Charles, but she may have been pulled into hell by and because of King Charles and his actions, the hell being the press and what they did to her and how they have scarred her and basically, plunged her yoga, filled former life into chaos and hell, frankly, right? And is this butterfly, who again is not burning, it's not really on fire, it's just present, does this butterfly does it represent Meghan, and does it represent, and if it does, what is it saying about Meghan? I mean, clearly she's been plunged into hell, but do you think that that will be her fate, according to remain there with him, according to this interpretation of the painting? Anyway, listen, that's all for this one. I just thought it was an interesting topic because no one else has touched upon it in depth, to my knowledge. And I like to be the first. You heard it here first. The butterfly is one of those 4 women. Okay? See you in the next one. Take care. Bye. So apparently, King Charles had his painting unveiling today. He commissioned a portrait, apparently, back in 2020, which was 4 years ago, just about the time that Harry and Meghan were leaving the royal family to go to California, and just, I guess, before the Queen died. And so the artist is the renowned artist Jonathan Yeo. And according to what I'm looking at here, it says that the portrait depicts His Majesty wearing the uniform of the Welsh Guards, of which he was made regimental colonel in 1975. So it also says that the canvas was carefully considered to fit within the architecture of Draper's Hall and the context of the paintings it will eventually hang alongside. Okay, so I don't know what those paintings are. I can only tell you what this looks like to me. And it looks like a man in a blazing inferno. It's like Dante's Inferno. I mean, well, just look at the way King Charles is looking at Jonathan Yeo. I mean, it's like, how dare you? How effing dare you do this to me and have me unveil this in front of everyone, you son of a bitch. Oh, God. Okay. All jokes aside, what do I think of this painting? I think it looks like he's in raging inferno. He's in hell. He's a man in hell. It's demonic. It looks completely demonic. And if you listen to Jonathan speaking, he's as you listen to Jonathan as you listen to Jonathan explain this, I mean, it is clear that he enjoyed this. He enjoyed doing this. And if you look at King Charles's if you look at King Charles's face, I mean, it's poetic justice. I mean, it's artistic justice. This is Charles the Vindictive. This is Jonathan Yeo exacting his revenge on Charles the Vindictive. I don't think they're going to hang this up. And if they do hang it up, listen, when they go home tonight, him and Camilla, I mean, there's going to be hell to pay. You saw how Charles responded when he was being not coronated, about when he became king and he was sitting in this room and he had to sign something and the pen didn't work. And do you remember how he behaved with this pen because the pen didn't work? Can you imagine? And you saw what he did with Harry, the vindictiveness with which he dealt with his own son, the glee with which he gave Harry's honest to William, the body language. Did you see the footworks, the way his legs, his trousers all wrinkled up like a lunatic madman set on revenge? Like, he's like shaking with revenge. It crumpled his pants, right? Imagine this man at home tonight with Camilla to discuss this phasing. I can't laugh. I can't laugh. It's too early in the morning. Listen, this is Dante's Inferno, okay? This is King Charles the Vindictive's Inferno. Do you see how he has a butterfly flying on this demonic image of like fire and red, and there's a butterfly in the just one lone butterfly? I mean, this guy Jonathan Yeo, he's going to be excommunicated from the country. I mean, he sucked it to King Charles. He's saying so much volumes. This man is speaking to King Charles about what he honestly thinks about King Charles. You demon, you devil, you red devil in Dante's Inferno. This is what he's saying. This is exactly what he's saying to this man. The poor butterfly, so fragile in your inferno, with you, King Charles the Vindictive. This is what Jonathan, well, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, it's conjecture. It's unsubstantiated. It's unsubstantiated, right? This is conjecture. But I conjecture that Jonathan Yeo did this intentionally because he knew that Charles was not going to see this painting until it's finished. He gave it to Charles. You are a devil. You are a devil. You're in Dante's Inferno. It's a demonic image. I don't see how King Charles keeps this. He commissioned it, but I don't see how he keeps this. But I guess to save face, he will. But this is speech. Make no mistake. This is speech.